So we are having a mini heat wave in Metro Vancouver, actually the whole of BC almost.
The next couple of days are going to be really warm, well over 30, maybe in the low 30s, so we've decided to head out here.
Yeah, and we looked really pretty much all over, which is close to Vancouver, of course, not too far away, and this is where we ended up. So we hope you enjoy this video. Up at Manning Park again. We're at the Coldspring Campground.
Not a big surprise, you know we're big fans of Manning Park, and the elevation's high enough that the temperatures are reasonably cool during the day. Actually last night, our first night, it got down to around 2 degrees. It was pretty chilly in the morning.
It was cold, yeah. So Coldspring Campground is actually the first one. It's located before the Manning Park Resort area, and it's probably the most rustic one. Yeah. It only has pit toilets and well water, so you have to pump the water. A little bit of hard work. But it's a great campground, and we really like it. And
yeah, there's several campsites that are right along the river when you come in. And then farther down, there's a lot of places where a lot of campsites that are pretty much pretty much covered by trees and shade, but they're also actually much quieter because there's a big sort of like half a bank between you and the road. And not far from the river as well, so some nice spots here.
Yeah, and there's a nice trail. It's like a 50-minute trail, a loop trail that you can walk around. And
we'll do it in 30.
Yeah, not really. I'm just recovering from a hip injury, so. But
I'll be carrying her for the last part.
But it's a beautiful day, blue sky. We really appreciate it, and we're really enjoying it.
And today's not supposed to get too warm. I think the temperature here is going to be in mid-20s. Still gets up reasonably warm during the days later on in the afternoon, but cools down so much at night. Probably down closer to 5 or 7 maybe, I think, tonight. So I hope you enjoy sharing this trip with us. It's Mickey. She's backed up. She's usually better at backing in than I am. Good job. It's a small spot, but a nice spot.
Yeah.
Nice little bank down to the river.
Good morning, everyone. Excuse the mess. Just woke up. Just making morning coffee for me, or latte, and a tea for Gordon. With a chopstick, you can get quite a bit of foam. Opening the window to pass the cups to Gordon. Hello.
Thank you. I get time to put on my morning makeup.
So when we were van shopping, I did notice that a lot of the camper vans didn't have this side window that opens, and you know, we find it really useful to pass things in and out. Yes, I really love this feature. We're kind of careful with Finch because we don't really want to open that sliding door because he has escaped before. Simple breakfast this morning. Gordon is having toasted bagels with boiled eggs. I'm just gonna have toasted bagel with vegan cream cheese or its own. I haven't tried it before. We just realized on this trail we get internet, 1 bar of LTE. In the campground there's no internet,
So we did get in last night, and we actually ran into 2 of our viewers. I was scoping out some of the other campsites and went down to campsite 24, which was, I think, the last time we were here. It's a first come first serve site, and it's right on the river. And I'm looking, and there's this nice white Pleasureway van, and I'm just sort of checking it out, just because it's a nice looking van. And I start to walk away, and somebody says, "Gordon." And it's a couple of people, Derek and Sue, who watch our channel, and their dog Chester. And then they popped by last night and we chatted a little bit by our van as they're taking Chester out for a walk. So really nice to meet them. They've had their van almost as long as we've had ours, and they just love it. And Pleasureways are really nice vans. So we really appreciate when people stop by and say hi. And
or in this case, stopped you to say hi.
Yeah, stopped me. I'm sure they thought I was a prowler or something. Who's this guy looking at our van? It was nice to see them. So we had an easy, simple dinner last night. I got up this morning, and Mickey and I were down by the creek or the river right by where we're camped. Yeah, it was nice. And now we're just out, as we said earlier, for this short hike. So nice, such a short but really scenic trail. We're still in the shade. Spot number 5 next to us, just over there, is also a nice spot. We chose this one because we thought we'd be able to be more comfortable in the shade with Finch. Got fans and everything on, but yeah, it's nice. All right, so I'm just heading back to Manning Park Lodge. I'm just walking on the trail that Mickey and I were hiking on this morning. I think it's probably 2.5 kilometers from our van to where the lodge is. Mickey's just sent me to pick up a few things that we've forgotten. I think this is part of the snowshoe trail in the winter. Road's just off to my left, maybe 50 feet. These cabins ahead of me are all new. I don't know if Mickey'd object if I, on my errand, took a few minutes just to sit on the patio and have a cold beer and maybe a burger. Very tempting. Back from my store run. Paper towel. Mickey said
Thank you.
It was a small one. That's all they have. They only have a choice of one.
Yay! Wine.
2 different bottles of wine.
Oh, rosé. Oh, that's a nice one.
Coldspring Rosé.
Oh.
I've never heard of this other one.
I've seen that one before.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
We have our friend Henry, and Henry keeps telling me he's going to pick up beer like this, but so far he hasn't. So
that's heavy to carry all the way.
Yeah, the clerk was saying, "Are you going to be okay with that?" I said, "Oh, come on, it's nothing." Anyway, some nice salty lime Mexican lager.
Ooh, that sounds good. Thanks for buying the wine for me.
Yeah.
Very happy.
Okay, dinner tonight is, I think, leftovers.
No.
No,
Well,
no.
leftover chicken
Leftover chicken for me.
for you. But there's some rice, coconut basmati rice, and then some sauteed veggies.
Excellent.
Good morning, everyone. So Gordon's gone off now on his hike. He'll probably be gone most of the day, so I've got kind of a free day today. And Finch has settled in to the driver's seat he usually likes to sit in, and I think he's going to go to sleep now. Just going to take it easy and maybe do a nice short hike and relax and watch the river.
I'm just out for a trip this morning up to Windy Joe. The junction to turn is about 2 kilometers ahead of me. It's about 1 kilometer to get to this spot, the trailhead from where we're camped. All the flowers, these little, I don't know what they are, but we saw some yesterday, and there's lots of little pods of these in the mosses. Beautiful. It's supposed to be hot today, so I left reasonably early, 8 o'clock in the morning. So not as early as I would have liked, but we kind of slept in till 7 today. Finch kept us up from about 3 till 5, wanting to play and mucking about. He's a rambunctious guy. It was about 5 degrees when I left, almost 6. But it's supposed to heat up, I think, to about 26 today. So fairly warm. Warmer tomorrow, though. Mickey's still back at the camp. Her back isn't up to the point where she could do even a moderate hike like this. And the trail to Windy Joe, depending on which guidebook you look at, is about 7 kilometers. Some say 8, and I can tell you when I do it, my legs make it feel like it's 9. It's not that it's a hard trail. It just seems to go on forever. Just one of those trails. And I'm just at the trailhead now, where you carry on to either Windy Joe, or you can carry on to the Pacific Crest Trail, which of course will take you into the United States and ultimately right down to the California-Mexico border if you want to go that far. And you can also go up to Mount Frosty. Now Mount Frosty, we've done that trip a few times, never through this route. This route allows you to actually do sort of a loop trip, which is kind of nice, but it's a little longer. Anyway, the temperature out now is warm enough that I've gotten rid of my fleece, and I'm about to head up the trail. We always notice in our videos how the trails generally don't look as steep as they actually are. This is a moderate grade, but it's fairly steep. The thing is, it goes uphill pretty much for the next 5 or 6 kilometers. There's not too many sections where it flattens out, although the grade does lessen in a few. The end of this trail, just before you get to the forestry lookout, I always find more challenging. Anyway, looking forward to getting up to Windy Joe. We've been up there many times, and we'll put a link to some of our videos from before. It's a beautiful spot. The old forest fire lookout is kind of nice. Yeah, just some nice views, and it's a decent moderate trip. So you can see this is actually an old forestry road, I guess. And there's a bit of deadfall. This tree here, several behind me. All easy to either walk under, around, or over, at least so far.
Here we go once again, the Canyon Nature Trail. I think Gordon must be feeling the heat today. It's already really warm. It's about 10:30 in the morning. Hopefully he brought enough water. I'm doing a really short hike, but I still brought some water with me. Good idea in the summertime when it's so hot. And Gordon's somewhere up there, heading up to Windy Joe. I might do the Rain Orchid Trail right there. It looks really short, and we'll see if there's any flowers. Perhaps this is where the orchids grow, but I don't see any flowers today. But it's quiet and beautiful. Okay. Nice short loop. Probably only took me like 5 minutes. I'm heading back on the other side of the river and go check on Finch, make sure it's not too hot in the van. Just checked the weather forecast, and today it's going to be 26 degrees high and a 15-degree low. And I also checked the local news, and they said that the campfire ban is starting June 8th, that's tomorrow at noon. So we bought a big bag of firewood. I think if we want to burn it, we'll have to do it tonight. In the meantime, the river is so beautiful. I'm back. Oh, lovely shade in our campsite. Let's see how Finch is doing. Hey Finch, how you doing? Are you cool enough in here? Dark, but cool. What do you think, Finch? Sleepy face. Yeah, you're a sleepy face. Alright, let's check the temperature. 20.9 outside. And about the same inside. How you doing? You okay? You have a good sleep? Good sleep? Yeah. You're a happy boy. Such a sweet boy. Yes, you are.
Started a loop trip to Mount Frosty, which is off to my right, and carry on to the first camp on the PCT across the US border. Done most of the elevation. Still a bit of distance yet. Trail generally is not as steep after this. Almost there, a little viewpoint. Beautiful. So I'm almost at the top. The trail continues through here. You can kind of see just by the tree line, the elevation's nothing left. This trail teases you though. It's like you think you're here, and now I've got to go around the corner and up one moderately steep bit before I get to the lookout. Do a quick trip inside. Oh, and someone was kind enough to leave the trap door open. The rolling mountains in the Okanagan. That's more or less east. Over here, I can just see campgrounds down over there, several kilometers away. There's a viewpoint right over there. That's the Three Brothers Mountain. You probably can't see it, but there's a repeater tower up there for cell. And just before it, there's a beautiful viewpoint when you're at the sort of subalpine level. I think it's right there, kind of halfway up the mountain. Back here, Frosty Mountain, which is just a little over 2,400 meters. I guess to its right is Castle Peak, which is about 2,500 meters, and that's in the United States. And really that's the whole end of the Cascade Mountains. The Crest Trail cuts off a little to the right. Mount Winthrop and the parks. I think you can probably just see Winthrop there on the right. Ptarmigan Peak, Monument 83. And then the highway you can see down there. Here's the old spotting scope. This place was, I guess, in place for 13 years, and I guess the intent was that whoever was up here could spot smoke in the distance, get an accurate idea of where it was, and then call into the park's headquarters. You can see we're just under 6,000 feet, 1,825 meters. My watch says 7.5 kilometers from where we camped. I'm the only one here, but I can hear some people below in the mountain coming up, so it's a peaceful place. Great views. Yeah, really nice. I wish Mickey was here. It's early still, but I think I'll have a little bit of lunch and then turn around and get back down before it gets too warm. Okay, what's up for tonight's dinner?
Well, you have salmon burger.
Yes.
And just a green salad. And I have a black bean burger.
Excellent.
Our
And
wine tonight is
we have a
Wales
rosé.
Rosé. Gordon got it from the Manning Park store. Lots of mosquitoes today.
Yes.
Cheers. And we got the fire going.
Yes.
Starting tomorrow at noon, there's a fire ban in most of BC.
Yeah.
Fire ban.
Fire ban everywhere except northwestern and southeastern. So 2/3 of the province is basically. And it's in part because we have so many forest fires right now, all across the country.
Good morning, everyone. So it's our final morning at Coldspring Campground in Manning Park.
Yeah, last night was much warmer. It got down to about 9 degrees, so quite a bit warmer than the previous nights, which was great. Our furnace, I think, only came on once very early in the morning, and that was great. It's a beautiful sunny day. I've already been out for a walk. Went down to the picnic tables near the entrance to the park, and then walked around. Yeah, it's just a beautiful morning. A couple of things we wanted to mention. One, just about the campground. It's also reasonably close to the highway. You might even be able to hear a little bit of the highway noise. So, we'd recommend if you do come here, try and get a site closer to the river, or possibly farther down towards the little bridge you can walk across, because it's a little quieter in there. Traffic's not bad in the evening because this isn't a busy road. And then the other sort of thing which was surprising, there's actually, the BC government's put in a gravel pit sort of across from the upper part of the campground, and it's been there for a while, looking at by the amount of gravel that they've torn off the hillside. So that actually creates a bit more noise because you've got trucks going up and down the road, at least during the day, gravel trucks. So just something to be aware of. It's been an interesting trip. This time we run into 4 of our viewers, which was kind of fun. We had Derek and Sue, and then later we ran into Bruce and Dee, who have Zion like ours. It's the SRT, so it's 1 foot shorter. And they've had, I guess, three Roadtreks. They had a 190, a 210, and now they're Zion SRT, and it sounds like they go all over. They really enjoy it. So it was nice to visit with them and chat to them, and they give us some camping tips for Vancouver Island.
Yeah, they do a lot of boondocking.
Yes, yeah. Had a lot of experience right across the country boondocking.
So I think we succeeded in finding one of the coolest spots in southern BC, and we're really happy about that. And we had a great getaway during our mini heat wave in Vancouver, and we really enjoyed our stay here. It was really relaxing, and we still got to do a little bit of walking and hiking. So if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so already, and we'll see you next time.
We'll see you next time.